It's pretty dark outside. It's only 3:30. So, are we gonna take bets in the comments that I'm going to get rained out before I have this done? The goal today is to get this battery installed before it rains on me. The original battery is a Motorcraft battery. It came with the Expedition. The date on the battery is September 9th or September 27th, 2018, which is pretty close to the build date of the Expedition, which I think my build date is October 2nd of 2018. Battery of choice to replace this is, well, another Motorcraft, because if this one lasted 6 years, then this one should last 6 years. And I was already at the dealership doing some filming for another upcoming video. And the price wise, this was $257 plus tax with the core charge. And if you go to the other hardware big box retailers, it's about the same damn price for one of their batteries. So why not just get OEM? Outside of this being 6 years old, I don't have any starting issues with this battery. I don't have any other electrical gremlins per se. The only two things I've noticed is if I don't drive it for a week, the auto start stop feature is disabled because it says vehicle is charging. And then if I drive like an hour or more, then the system comes back online, and when I stop at a traffic light or whatnot, it will do the auto start stop feature. Personally, I usually disable that because I can't stand it. The other little tiddly bit thing I noticed was in my pre-inspection video, I had mentioned that the running board doesn't fully retract. And I think that's partly because there's not enough, the battery's on its way out. As if I leave it, the Expedition sit long enough, when I do open the door and I do close it, it doesn't retract all the way, or the running board doesn't retract all the way, and I'll be driving down the road and I can hear it in the cabin trying to retract itself. Now that I think about it, that might not be an electrical issue. However, when the auto start stopping feature is re-enabled, the running board then fully retracts itself continuously. So my opinion is, well, I need a new battery. That being said, looks to be pretty simple. Two 10mm nuts for the terminal and an 8mm nut for the wedged thing, tie down thing that they got back here. And then I will use ForeScan and do the BCM reset. If you don't have ForeScan or access to a scan tool to do the BCM reset, you can put the new battery in and then let the vehicle sit for 8 hours undisturbed. And that the system will then automatically reset itself. So before I have raindrops, let's get the new battery installed, shall we? So first item task is to remove this 8mm post right here. And I think there is torque specs for these 3 nuts, but I think it's only in inch-pounds, so that's what, hand tight. How long is this bolt? Okay. And then this comes up and away. Oh, that's kind of a long, got some long threads there. Oh, it also looks like this is keyed to go in here one way. So these 2 indents right here face the fender, and the flat side with this indent where my finger's at faces the battery. Looks pretty straightforward. Now for these, I removed the negative terminal first. I also want to make sure it does not hit anything. That was pretty simple. Oh. Okay, so I unscrewed that and it pretty much stopped or bottomed out. So this should pop up and off. Okay. That's pretty simple. And then we do the same for the positive. Is there something I need to be removing that goes on this positive terminal over here with this battery? Or is this whole thing part of that? Okay, so that nut and thing is all part of that. And then I'm gonna look at my terminals and make sure they're okay and there's no corrosion. And then this battery should lift up and away. Now, I am about 5'9". This battery weighs probably 50 pounds. So better have a good way of pulling this up and out of here without doing damage to your vehicle. So this should pop up and away. And then I guess you could pull out the battery tray itself and clean it out. There's three, what appears to be like maybe a 15mm bolt, 2 down here at the bottom and 1 right here. If you wanted to clean yours out, see if I can't get a paper towel and clean mine out. I didn't bring a shop vac out with me to do this. Just ran my head into my hood. And that's another paper towel here. Probably using an air compressor too. I didn't bring my hose out to do this. That could have, that would also probably be sufficient. There is a lot of junk in this tray. All right, I felt a raindrop. I am not dealing with this in the rain. So I also put the new blanket on. This battery only goes in this tray one way, in only one orientation. You just slide it down in there. Now, I don't put any dielectric grease on the terminals because dielectric grease is not conductive. I have never put anything on the terminals themselves, any kind of grease at all. Let me know in the comments what you guys do. I will take a little wire brush and make sure there's no corrosion on the bottoms of these. They look pretty good. I am going to do the positive first and then put the negative on. And this is an AMG battery. So there is a vent right here where my finger's at, and there's a vent right here. So one would have the vent hose and the other one would have a plug in it. I'm gonna put the plug in because the original one had the plug in this vent hole here, but this one was open. I don't recall the Expedition having a vent hose. So this just goes in this hole, like so. And then I'm gonna put this negative on. It's gonna flash everything. Hand tight. And that's pretty much it. Then I gotta do this tie down that sits right here. Again, these grooves face the fender and this groove faces the battery. Only goes in really one way. And just screw this down. Oh, there we go. No need to crank it down. As long as the battery's not moving, we're good. Now we head into the cabin to do the reset. With the battery installed, there's rust right here. Focus. With the battery installed, there's a few ways to do your battery reset. The first way is to leave the vehicle sit overnight, 8+ hours. Don't open the doors, don't have the key near it, don't do anything, and the system will relearn itself. I'm going to use ForScan, and that is just as simple as connecting ForScan. Then I go down to the wrench, and then I click my battery monitoring system reset, and then I click the play button in the lower left corner, and I follow the on-screen instructions of what it's telling me to do the battery reset for this. And as per like the Ford's procedure says, once you have everything reset, it's done, drive it for 10 miles so the system can relearn its long and short-term fuel trims. Now, the only thing that I had noticed when changing the battery was I had to re-enable the power running boards. On the display, I had to put back the turbo boost pressure gauge, swapping it out for the transmission temp gauge. And that is it for changing the battery in the Expedition. The procedure that I use for today's project on Big Blue here may be applicable to its more upscale sibling, the Navigator. Let me know down in the comments if the procedure that I did here for today's project helped you with the maintenance of your Navigator. That was a project. For more expedition content, click this playlist. For more content posted this year, click this playlist. And to subscribe to this channel, click here.